Hello. Hello, and welcome once again. My name is Pat Esgate, and I am the organizer of Ann Lister Birthday Weekend, also known as Cheap Promo, ALBW. And we are coming live to you this afternoon and this evening. Today is, well, first of all, let me just say we have had a phenomenal weekend here at ALBW Live, and I can't thank our tech team enough. Livia Labate and Steph Galloway have been running this whole thing behind the scenes and just doing a phenomenal job. I'd also like to thank all of our guests so far. The first day was really the Ann Lister Historians Day with Helena Whitbread and Jill Liddington. Yesterday, of course, we went to Shibden Hall with Angela Clare, and then we had that fabulous interview with Saran Jones and Sally Wainwright, the two fabulous women behind Gentleman Jack. And today it's Fan Day, and we're going to be leading this off with Amanda Walgrove, and Shibden After Dark will be coming on later on this afternoon. I couldn't be happier about being able to introduce our next guest, who really doesn't take a lot of introduction. If you're here, you're probably familiar with her and her phenomenal impressions of all the Gentleman Jack characters. So without further ado, let's take it to Amanda Walgrove.
Sorry I'm late. I had some business needs taken care of, and I do like to keep an eye on the men. Where is everybody? Where is Anne, and Anne, and Anne, and Marion, and Mariana, and Jeremy, and Jeremiah, and the Rawsons, and the Lawtons? As I told Marion, I'm marrying Anne, not Mariana, whom I call Marion, okay? I'm marrying Anne. Marry Mariana? Marry Mariana. Marion, Anne, I'm marrying, not Mariana. Go marry, but I'm not marrying her. Marrying Anne, Marion. Anyway, I don't have time for this. After this, I'm off to Cronest, then on to Pinecone, then on to Market Cream of Wheat. Is there someone in there? No apotheration? Suppose I could have a cup of tea. Well, that's done. And, oh, hey-ho. Eugenie, I will need my soup poop bowl, please. She's vomiting again. Well, that's me, I'm off. And yes, I like to bring my thermometer with me to the necessary. It's not illegal.
So sorry, ladies. I won't be able to attend your birthday ball. But Jeremiah tells me he's been letting you run rings around my sons with your coat. I wonder if Miss Walker will let you dip into a purse. Whatever else she's been letting her dip. What did Stansfield say? Most women are dull and stupid, but not you. I hear you're threatening to sink your own. What did Stansfield say? Maneuvering them into paying silly prices. So sorry, lady. Yours, sprightly legend, Mrs. Rawson. Mail it.
She here? She's not here. However far away my sister goes, however long she's gone for, whatever crises are happening here, she always, within minutes, manages to inveigle herself into becoming the main topic of any given conversation. I am on the cusp of sending out the servants, who are themselves on the cusp of being on the cusp of going out to look for her. I even brought her undergarments with an improved gusset. She's left her tea. Oh, that's gone in. Oh, that's gone in. Oh, God. Oh, it's gone up. It's gone to the side. Oh, it's gone down again. All right. That'll do it. She's still not here. Here's the thing. Oh, and yes, I will have a son, and I will name him Shibden Hall. And Shibden Hall will have a greater claim to Shibden Hall than you. And he won't be a lister. He'll be a Shibden Hall of Shibden Hall. And Shibden Hall will love Shibden Hall for what it really is. An old farm. Chickens, inveigle yourselves. Don't mean to be a bit about it, but I thought I might pop in. Where's the invalid? Yeah. No one's here. I know it's supposed to be a small affair, but I may have mentioned it to elderly Mrs. Rawson, Mrs. Stansfield Rawson, Miss Celia, Miss Delia, Miss Bedelia Rawson, a few random men. Well, something I like to do while waiting is play the alphabet game. I'll start, and I'll finish. It's on me here. A. Anne Lister. I have defended that woman against the vilest comments. B. Bisabote. Bisabote. C. Cumulonimbus. D. Don't you Eliza me. E. Eliza me. F. Fire. Not playing with it. Which brings me to my gift for Anne. Nope. Anyway, I don't need to be a bit spotty, but I thought I might pop out. I'll pop out and then I'll pop back in. I'll pop out somewhere else and then I'll pop in somewhere and then I'll pop back in. But for now, I'm going to pop out. Ta-ra!
Dear Miss Lister, I write to you in good faith. Thank you very kindly for the invitation to your birthday ball. Thank you. I'm afraid I will have to decline. Seems I'm suffering with my nerves. Give my best to the family. Dr. Kenny. Dr. Kenny. Once again. Dear Fred, I'm writing to say I'd be delighted to come to your birthday ball when Charles dies. Though I thoroughly intend to spend the day with someone I love when Charles dies, I just can't run the gauntlet like you can, Fred. Oh, my sauce. Running rings around polite society, persuading everyone that black is white or pink, or that Charles doesn't need to be dead. I'll see you on your next birthday, if Charles is in the ground. When Charles is in the ground. love you. Yours, sometimes. Marinara Sawston. What, Charles? P.S. We'll always have Christmas 1834. Ready?
Good Lord. Oh, good Lord. Good Lord. Is Anne here? No, that's not true. Well, I'm very fond of birthdays, just not sure that I'd want to. Give a birthday party. Oh, good Lord. Well, maybe if Anne doesn't come, we can all, I can come again tomorrow and then I can stay all night. Oh, good Lord. Oh, here's a present. You can just let me know, yes or no, in this here. Oh, good Lord. Oh, good Lord. Oh, good Lord. Good Lord.
Are you sad and a lesbian? Tired of not having a shawl to comfort you? Or worse, having a shawl meant for a heterosexual? Then you need the Lesbian Grief Shawl, as seen on the hit BBC One HBO series Gentleman Jack, and on Kermit the Frog. Now there's a rainbow connection for you. Use it while standing, use it while sitting, use it while doing whatever this is. Just open it up, drape it over your shoulders, and be sad. It's that easy.
I used to suffer in silence, questioning my sexuality, lusting over people on TV that I never meet and never know. Now I can do all that in flannel. Thanks, Lesbian Grief Shawl.
This incredible offer can be yours for the low, low price of £226, 17 shillings and 6 pence. Ridiculous? It isn't. Let us explain why.
You sell your flannel down in Halifax at 8 pence per yard. Now I'm reliably informed that the cost of getting and hurrying to the surface 20 yards of flannel is 6 shillings. That's 72 pence divided by 20, and well, that's 3 pence halfpenny per cord, which means you make 4 pence halfpenny clear gain per cord. Now let's times that by 5.
To get your Lesbian Grief Shawl today, call 1-800-226-1706. That's 1-800-CAN1QUAM. The letters don't mean anything, they're just letters if you prefer to type into your keypad that way. But wait, there's more! Call in the next 10 minutes and we'll even throw in our Lesbian Grief Sham Wow! Perfect for mopping up gay tears while you're reading that modern AU fan fiction. You know, the one where Anne and Anne meet on an airplane and Anne smells like citrus and soap and Anne starts having a panic attack. Lesbian Grief Shawl.
Because sometimes the plaid shirt you're already wearing just isn't enough.
To get your Lesbian Grief Shawl today, call 1-800-226-1706 or 1-800-CAN1QUAM. That's 1-800-226-1706. 1-800-CAN1QUAM.
Now that was a bowel movement to write about. So I will. How did I miss everyone? Bean was here. Adney. Mrs. Priestley. Marion. Well, nothing left to do but document it tirelessly. Let's see. 5th of April, 2 days past my birthday. Feeling loved. I knew there was someone in there.
Well, how good was that? The amazing Amanda Walgrove. Who, you do need to know, Amanda, that Brenda and I were sitting here laughing our guts out through this entire thing because thank God we could actually watch it on Facebook. Hey there.
Oh.
You're fabulous.
Thank you. That was a whirlwind.
Oh my God. Just so you know, for you out there in the audience, I don't think you've ever done this before. Have you, Amanda?
Nothing like this.
Yeah. Wow. Really spectacular.
Over here. Awesome.
There we go.
Thank you, though. Thank you for your feedback. I'm like, adrenaline.
Yeah. I know how that feels. That's how I felt last night after I talked to Sally and Saran.
I'm sure.
It's performance. It's performance. So Amanda, let's have a little Q&A, shall we?
Yes.
You and I, and then we'll bring on everybody else.
Sure.
So what drew you to comedy in the first place? Were you a funny kid? Were you somebody who kind of hid your light under a bushel basket? I find that hard to believe. So what was it?
I think I was a funny kid. I think I would, come out with little like quips. I was kind of introverted. I mean, I was a tomboy, but like, in a family where everyone's talking and everything, I would like come in with a line every now and then. I'd be like, oh, people are laughing. I also remember probably one of my first comedy memories is growing up. I think I was like 8, and with my cousins and my friends, we would make like parody commercials with those like big VHS cameras. I remember I made one for like Goldfish or something, and whenever I do things like this, I picture that little like 8, 9-year-old girl making the Goldfish commercial, and I'm like, I'm still playing around. I'm still giving myself permission to have that fun.
Isn't that great? Yeah, and albeit with a much smaller camera now than you have at that time. Thank God.
Much more portable.
So what happened then? How did you go from that 8-year-old girl to finding a place to actually train for comedy? Tell us a little bit about that part of your life.
Yeah, I mean, I've done performing for a while. I performed a lot in middle school and theater. I was a theater kid. That was like my life. And then after college, I knew I wanted to move to LA and take like a serious stab at the entertainment industry, whatever that would look like. It's always changing because of the internet. But I moved out to LA a few years ago, and I got onto, I was a cast member on House Teams at the UCB Theater there, which is one of the big comedy theaters.
Yeah, just for the audience out there that doesn't know about that, that's the Upstanding Citizens Brigade, which is legendary especially in the improv world, comedy world in general. But that's a big deal that you were with them.
It was a big deal, and it happened quickly, and it threw me for a loop. And then it was a huge learning experience. I mean, I was doing monthly shows, and I was writing, and I was performing, and I was meeting amazing people. While out there, I also got a commercial agent, which was like probably my first real piece of the business side of comedy. And I was going on commercial auditions, and I landed a couple, which were amazing experiences.
Which commercials did you do?
I did one for Grubhub, which my face got cut out of.
Oh, nice.
Not like we're cutting this girl, but I happened to be on the edge of the frame, and then the way that it was cut for TV, you could see like a sliver of my face, but you also see my finger ringing the doorbell.
Well,
you see a Grubhub commercial. That was my first claim to fame.
So you'll never have to do an audition for anybody ringing a doorbell, because you'll have that tape to send them.
I have a reel.
That's good.
It consists of one clip, but it's the cooler commercial was a promo for Kelly Clarkson's new talk show, which premiered last year, and I got to have a scene with Kelly And so I was on set with her for like 45 minutes, a little scene, but it takes a while to film even a little scene.
Yeah.
And that was one of those moments where I'm like, I'm in LA, I'm standing across from Kelly Clarkson, I booked a commercial. Yeah, but then Gentleman Jack came along and it brought me back to what I've always loved most, which is just making my own stuff because I can have control over it. And it's easier to, give myself that permission to just get weird. And that's usually the stuff that does best.
Right.
And it's certainly been, out of everything I've done in comedy, this has been the most personally and professionally rewarding by far.
And it's rewarding because what kind of feedback have you been getting from it?
Well, because of the fan community, for one. I mean, I can't thank them, everyone, enough for every like and comment or direct message. Like, it means so much to me because it is personal and it is scary to put my stuff out there. And it all looks like, silly fun and games, but it's me. And when it's something I'm trying to make a career out of as well, like every single little thing feels very big. And the fan community in Gentleman Jack is amazing for a number of ways. And this is one that really reaches me personally.
Yeah. You did have, and I am going to circle back and ask you a little bit about your own personal reaction to Gentleman Jack, but you did have something really wonderful happen to you when a certain someone actually saw one of your videos on Twitter, I think, or someplace. I'm not sure what it was.
Yeah. Sally Wainwright responded to my Mrs. Bean, my first Mrs. Bean video. Which, like,
right? Yeah.
I remember the day, I remember the minute. And yeah, to have that kind of response, it's incredible.
Yeah, very much so. So let me now circle back to that. Gentleman Jack, how did you find out about it? And what was your reaction to it when you first saw it? How did you feel about that program?
I found out about it, no thanks to marketing.
Thank you. Especially in America.
Yeah, in America. It popped up on my HBO on demand and I watched it. I think the first 2 episodes were up and I loved it right away. I knew it was different. I knew it was something I was going to watch anyway because there was this amazing lesbian figure at the center of it. But then the fact that it's like a beautifully done show, beautifully written, cast, directed. I mean, I think I got addicted very quickly.
Right, like the rest of us. Yeah.
Yeah, and took over my life until now. I mean,
yeah.
To present.
I can relate. Whatever happened to all the things that we were doing other than dealing with things in the Gentleman Jack world? I honestly don't know.
Good question.
Yeah, but it's fun while we're here,
Oh yeah.
So now you were, you moved to LA. I know you were in Nyack for a while. Amanda Walgrove was actually right here in my little town, but we did not know each other. I was sorry to hear that when I found out she had been here, but in any case, you went from there to LA, but you've recently moved, correct?
Yeah, in November, semi-spontaneously, I moved with my partner, Maya. We were in LA together. And we moved to Nashville to be closer to her family for a bit. Her sister just had a baby, and we wanted to be here for that. And now we're all quarantined and we can't see them anyway.
Right. Oh well.
So we're like FaceTiming them, but also like I loved LA and I may go back. But some things were changing there for me, and my priorities started to shift, and I knew that I really wanted to just keep doing my own stuff, and everything outside of that started to feel, instead of like an opportunity, a distraction.
Ah, interesting.
I was like, I want to cut out the distractions. I want more room. You get more literal room here than in LA.
Right.
my own space to film, and you know, head down, just want to like make my own stuff, because that's what brings me the most joy.
So you said a few minutes ago that that things were that things were changing in the entertainment scene out in LA, and because of the internet. So tell me a little bit about you as a comedian on the internet. I mean, obviously you've hooked into the Gentleman Jack community. Are there other things that are happening in terms of improv and stand-up, et cetera, on the internet that you find work better for you than it was trying to get gigs out in someplace like Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Can you make a living doing this connected to the internet?
You can. People do. You know, on YouTube, like, people make a living doing, I don't think you get a lot of money from views, but like brand deals and
Right.
ads and things like that. Yeah, people do that. There's, you know, Patreon platforms like that where
Right.
creators of any kind can build a community and say, you know, I'm looking for support.
Are you actively doing that?
I'm not yet. I have a, you know, job. This is my passion. And I'm still trying every day, figuring out what that might look like. That step from just a labor of love to something that I can do professionally. Yeah.
Right. Maybe you could find a shawl company to be one of your sponsors.
Yeah, start with merch.
Right. Be the merch. What the heck, you know? Well, and there's also umbrellas after all. So
I know.
hats, cravats, whatever.
It's true.
Yeah. So let me see what else I have here. Oh, by the way, I was taking notes on your performance. I loved the marinara sauce instead of the ink. It's just brilliant. It's the little details, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was scared to do Mariana because I don't feel 100% confident in that impression. But then once I was like, I got the visual of the marinara sauce, and I was just like, I'm gonna do it, whatever happens.
Yeah. So we are taking questions for Amanda. Let's see. She's telling me, I'm sorry, you know that I get these in on my phone, right?
Yeah.
If you've watched any of the other ones.
Yeah.
And
Take your time.
yeah. And she's telling me that several of the questions are the ones that I have already asked. So this is really interesting. So what you said, you had a feeling about possibly going back to Los Angeles. Would you do that because of the industry or just because you loved the town, or?
I mean, I loved it. The earthquakes I didn't love.
Yeah.
Then I moved here and there was a tornado.
Yeah, right.
It's been a few months, Pat.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been a few months.
Yes. Then the plague. The locusts are coming next week, by the way. So you know.
What it feels like. Well, next week is Passover. So it's happening. Oh wait, are you muted?
No, I'm not muted. Can you not hear us?
Okay.
There you go. All right.
Pop
Yeah.
that for a second for me.
Are you finding any comedy outlets in Nashville that you might get involved with? Is there anything like Comedy Sports or other improv gigs or that kind of thing out there?
There are a nice amount of improv theaters. I think also like Nashville's blowing up. A lot of people are moving from the coasts, like New York and LA, where the big comedy theaters are, other than Chicago. And so I think people like me are coming here and saying, you know, I want to change the scene. I want some more space, a different lifestyle a little bit. So there's definitely opportunities and things that I was going to start looking into until the pandemic.
Right. Oh, that. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So here's one. What other characters might you think about doing? You pretty much, I hadn't seen Argus before. So, I mean, is there anybody left that you're interested in doing on Gentleman Jack?
Well, all those transition videos were new, other than the lesbian grief shawl. I did those this week, and they were little, you know, secondary, tertiary characters that I've had on my list for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this is a good reason for me to just try to bang them out. I think the first one on my list was Elderly Mrs. Rawson, and I did that and had a lot of fun with that. I don't know. I don't know.
Have you ever been driven to do, got another question. Have you ever been driven to do characters from any other show, or was it just Gentleman Jack that really did it for you?
Yeah, I mean, I've done, I did a British baking show video where I played like a bunch of people I played like Paul Hollywood and Prue Leith and Sandy and Noel, and some fake contestants, and that was a lot of fun. And I've done some other impressions, and I do original characters too. I love doing original characters.
Somebody's asking if there are any favorite sketch shows or skits that you watch.
I grew up on SNL, so that was, you know, Saturday Night Live. That was it.
Yeah.
I named my dog Gilda after Gilda Radner, who was the first woman cast on SNL, but actually the first person cast on SNL was Gilda Radner. Yeah. Something that's cool also is on Netflix now. It feels like, I know Netflix is known for like their stand-up specials. A lot of those are coming on. Mm-hmm. But in the last year or so, it feels like they're producing more sketch shows and like single person sketch shows. I mean, you go out to like Tracy Ullman, she had her one woman.
Oh my God.
Yeah. UK. Like that is incredibly inspiring. Amy Sedaris does her like at home one based on her cookbooks, which is, she's brilliant.
Can you imagine growing up in that family?
No.
Talk about insanity, David and Amy, right?
I know.
Yeah.
What a household.
Yeah.
What a group of minds.
Right. Must have been something in the water. Have you ever considered stand-up touring? You don't really consider yourself a stand-up comedian though, do you?
I don't. I'm not gonna pigeonhole myself. My favorite things to do are characters and sketches, like SNL style, which is what I was doing in LA on the house team there, and what I do when I make my own videos, just like characters. I did stand up for a little bit in New York.
How was that?
It was okay. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I can't get past the whole like coming up on stage, like breaking the ice thing, like how's that like? I know you don't have to do it that way, but I like the theatricality of sketch and character, and that like, this is my space, this is your space, I'm putting on a show.
Right, got it. Yeah, you have that little pristine around you. Yeah.
Maybe that's too,
I don't know. Do you watch, I have to ask you for myself, do you watch Mrs. Maisel?
I love Mrs. Maisel.
Isn't she phenomenal?
Gilmore Girls was a very big show for me.
Because?
Very big deal for me. I've always loved TV. I always wanted to do TV, and I think Amy Sherman Palladino, who created that show, speaking of that theatricality, it almost feels like a Broadway show. Scenes are not directed, they're choreographed.
Yes.
She has long sweeping shots where people come in and out on time, and her writing is, you know, so fun.
And the costumes and the color, right? Yeah. The palette that they use on that show.
She put on a show, like it's an experience. I love that as a viewer.
Yes, and she had never done, Rachel Brosnahan had never done comedy previous to Maisel. Did you know that?
I did know that, but she did do theater.
Yes.
And again, people with theater backgrounds in theater do very well in Amy's shows because of how theatrical they are. But
Is theater something that calls you at all, or it's really comedy?
No, I love theater. I mean, all throughout high school, I did theater. I wrote plays, I did comedies, I did musicals. I just did a comedy musical actually back in LA.
You're kidding.
That was
What
a lot
was
of
it? What was it?
Swipe Right, the musical, about a woman who goes on like bad Tinder dates. And I had a bunch of songs. It was a half hour. It was so much fun.
Do you have that on tape? You must have it on tape.
I'm waiting for the tape. My friend Hannah Dillon wrote it. She's a fantastic writer, and she directed it. And I'm waiting for her.
Oh, wow. Well, when you get it, I mean, I know you have plenty of things to do with it, but we would love to put that up on the new Ann Lister Birthday Weekend YouTube channel.
Oh.
If you're interested.
Yes.
Yes.
More the merrier.
Yeah, we'd love to have that up there. Let's see. So that's the end of the questions that are coming in from the audience right now. And so we're a little bit early on the end, but I just wonder if you have anything else to say that you'd like to share with the Gentleman Jack community or whatever.
What would I like to say? I mean, I think the only thing left to say is just thank you. Thank you to you for organizing this.
No, sure. Yeah.
Steph and Livia for doing the tech. I've done a lot of live performing, not necessarily this way, but I know that good tech can make or break a show. And I felt very comfortable having them behind the scenes. They've been great.
They're just doing a phenomenal job back there, and it's not easy, especially this one with all the cutting back and forth.
I know. I was like, I felt bad. I was like,
yeah,
this is so much.
I'm creating so much work.
It's like.
Oh, you know what? Now, wait a minute. I do have another question. How long does it take you to create one of the characters, any of the skits that you're doing, from the time that you first catch something that you want to blow up to the point where you're filming? And then how long does it take to actually create the film?
The ideas happen over time. You know, I could be watching something and I'll get an idea and write it down, and I'll let things like germinate for a few days, maybe a week. And then when I finally get to filming, I'll usually block out a day. It won't necessarily take all day, but just, you know, the mind space. Like I'm not going to try to do much else that day. And I'll film probably for like an hour or two, just following rough notes and throwing shit against the wall and seeing what sticks.
Right.
And then editing probably takes the longest and is also maybe my favorite part, because it feels like putting together a puzzle with all these different pieces I've thrown out and then sitting and seeing how they might fit together. And that could take a few hours over the course of some days.
Okay, well, so now I know why we always have to wait so long in between new.
I know. I wish I could. I wish I could do it every day, and I might be able to. But would I burn out? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I'd rather take the time and be very happy with everything I put out than try to, person.
Well, I certainly wish you the best of success with this, and you do have a really good-sized following out here in Gentleman Jackland. I hope that this is going to help grow that a little bit more. And we're always interested in having you show up in anything that's related to ALBW. I do hope that you're planning on coming out to Halifax next spring. You were supposed to be with us this spring in the Minster, so you'll be coming.
100%.
Excellent.
As long as the world is on board.
Yes, right.
I am on board.
Wait a minute. Now, so how many plagues, pestilence, locusts, etc.
I not count the plagues.
We worked through them yet? That's the question. And what do we have left? Anyway.
Coming up next week.
Right. Tune in next week and we'll find out. So, Amanda, I really want to thank you for your time today. I know that this was a real personal challenge, and you nailed it 100%. So thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity to come to the UK, which I wanted to do very badly, but then to have
Right.
this. It means the world, and just being able to focus on this during these crazy times and stay connected with you and everyone in the community. I mean, it's invaluable.
Yeah, it's a very good thing. Well, we'll be talking soon, and in the meantime, I want to let everybody know that we have coming up at, what is it, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock? 4 o'clock, right? We have Shipton After Dark with Leanne Mertzman and Mary Schwartz. We're looking forward to that. We're going to spend an hour with them. And after that, we're going to be doing a little Zoom chat over at ALBW chat on Facebook. And I hope you drop in, because I'm sure people are going to want to say hi and let you, get a few accolades for your performance this afternoon. So.
Oh, is that open to other people to drop in?
Sure.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
I'll
just,
be watching anyway, yeah.
yeah. So come in and say hello, and we'll let everybody clap for you a little bit. So in any case, thank you so much, Amanda, and we'll talk soon. Okay.